What's up, everybody? What's up? Hope everybody's doing well. Praise the Lord. It is still kind of cold over here in Michigan, and I wish summer would hurry up and show up. But y'all saw the video. Why are black women always fighting each other? Okay? And I know it's kind of a tough subject, but we got to talk about this, bro. I know the fellas got some issues. I know this, okay? I do know this. But I need to understand, why are black women so aggressive as of lately? Like, what's going on? Like, we need to talk about this, because I'm going to tell y'all about something that recently happened to me. And I'm in Detroit. So this is a highly aggressive type city, So when people say stuff in Detroit, you can't really play around with it, like Chi-Town, like St. Louis, like Atlanta, like Memphis, like all these urbanized cities, Baltimore, Milwaukee, when people say stuff in Detroit, you can't play with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to the Chick-fil-A, and it's in the inner city of Detroit. I wanted some Chick-fil-A. Okay? And anybody know that if you go to a Chick-fil-A, the lines be long as heck. And typically, I don't really have the time to be waiting in line for no chicken sandwich. You know what I'm saying? But I love Chick-fil-A. Who don't love Chick-fil-A? So I'm in line. You know what I'm saying? And then some of y'all know how like the lines, it go from like one line to two line or something like that. So anyway, I let one of the young ladies who gonna get into this confrontation, I let her get in front of me. So the other girl behind me, it's hard to explain it, but if y'all been to Chick-fil-A, you know what I'm talking about. The other girl, she didn't want to let the girl in the lane or whatever from the other side. It's like she was trying to bogart, because how like both lanes be kind of crowded. So I guess the other girl was trying to find a lane that wasn't, that she can get to faster. So girl A gets mad at girl B because I let girl B over, and the girl gets out of her car to confront the young lady. She gets out the car in the Chick-fil-A line, and they both got on bonnets, which blew my mind, and they started arguing and they started fighting each other, man, over a Chick-fil-A, being in the Chick-fil-A line. Okay, so they started pounding on each other's cars and all this other type of stuff, and I didn't think to record it, but it just shocked me that black women will fight over the craziest things, dude. And it really made me feel extremely uncomfortable to see these two beautiful women fighting in a Chick-fil-A line. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't go to Chick-fil-A that often, like I said, because the lines be so long. So, me end up trying to do a gesture. I can't even get my food. So, they fighting. I mean, they going at it. Okay? No, the line didn't stop moving. Everybody looking around. And this is kind of like in a good suburb, like some suburban area in Detroit, if you want to call it that. So, long story short, they shut the line down. I never get my Chick-fil-A, and I'm upset. All right? And I'm upset. You know what I'm saying? Because these two females want to fight each other in the Chick-fil-A line. So my question is, this is not something that just popped up. But black women, I need to know, where did this spirit of violence come from? Like, where did this come from that y'all want to fight each other all the time over nothing? Over nothing. Like, do we just lack conflict resolution? Do we feel like y'all got to be right all the time? Do you feel like you never wrong? Like, I can't understand what's going on. And I know I'm not the only one that sees this. You know what I'm saying? Thank God none of these women had a gun or anything like that. But I need to know what's going on. Y'all got these bonnets. Y'all got these long fingernails. You don't want to listen to nobody. You don't want to talk to nobody. Like, what is the deal? What spirit possesses you women to fight each other, to want to fight each other? Like, I grew up in a time, see, I'm an 80s baby. I know I still look somewhat young, but, you know, I'm an 80s baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be 41 this year. And as a man, before I fight anybody at the age that I'm at, I'm going to walk away. Okay? I'm going to walk away. You know, as long as you don't put your hands on me, I'm straight. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm 6'5", about 210 pounds, so I'm not really into scrapping no more, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done did that. You know, if you want to argue with me about something, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to just be like, hey, man, go ahead. You know, I'm not about to argue with you, especially over no spot in the Chick-fil-A line. You know, but for some reason, black women, I've been noticing, are just ultra aggressive towards everything, dude. You know, and it's not just online. Like, I just see it so much now. And like I said, I'm an 80s baby. You know what I'm saying? I grew up where women was nice. They was soft. They was, you know, somewhat submissive. They would kind of listen. You know, they wasn't always scrapping. You had 1 or 2 in your high school, you know, little stocky type, butch type women that wanted to fight. You know, you had 1 or 2. But now it seems like all these women want to fight, man. All these women want to fight. And don't no man find any woman attractive that want to fight all the time. That's not something an alpha male looks for. You know what I'm saying? We don't want no woman that's always trying to scrap all the time. You know? We want our women to provide comfort. You know what I'm saying? You know, we wanna be around women who are soft, who nice. You know what I'm saying? Who gives us peace. You know? We don't want most successful men, we don't want no woman that want to fight all the time. Who's quick to anger. You know, we want a woman who's going to provide peace and comfort for us when we get home from work. You know, so I don't understand, like, what's going on? What's going on? What are y'all mad about that y'all will get out of line to go fight somebody? What's going on? Because I don't understand it, bro. You know, I got 2 sons. You know, I got 2 twin boys, and I'm worried about what they gonna be exposed to with these women growing up. You know? And then, you know, we get mad when black men turn to white women. And I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do, because I've never been attracted to a white woman a day in my life. As Dr. Umar say, the snow bunnies. You know? But it's getting harder to defend black women, and I love black women. You know? But it's getting extremely hard to defend you guys when I see you get out of line in Chick-fil-A and you start beating each other head in. You know, and I know I'm not the only one who see this. So black women, I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. I need y'all to tell me how black men can help. If we can help y'all, we need to help y'all. Because y'all are our mothers, grandmothers, sisters, aunties. This is making us all look bad. And we got to get to the root of this problem. Because black women just fighting each other all the time in public and at events, it just has to stop. Okay? This is Untouchable Conservative. Thank you everybody for tuning into my video. Y'all have a blessed day.